Get ready. 5 seconds to go. Start. Government or state government or local authority. Stop. Explanation. For the purposes of this section, it is thereby clarified that on or after the commencement of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, in cases where insolvency or bankruptcy proceedings are pending in respect of secured assets of the powers priority to secured creditors in payment of debt shall be subject to the provisions of that code. Stop. Thus, the same principle of priority of right of the secured creditors to recover its dues from the sale of secured asset was introduced under the Securitization Act 2002 akin to Section 31B of the Recovery Act 1993. Stop. Further, Section 35 of the Securitization Act 2002 from its inception provides overriding effect which reads as under. Stop. The provisions of this act to override other laws. Stop. The provisions of this act shall have effect notwithstanding anything inconsistent therewith contained in any other law for the time being in force or any instrument having effect by virtue of any such law. Stop. Now coming to the Central Excise Act 1944, it would be interesting to note that even before the Recovery Act 1993 and Securitization Act 2002 were amended, it was the Act 1944 which witnessed an amendment by virtue of Finance Act 2011, whereby Section 11E was inserted into the Act 1944, which came into force on 8th April 2011. Thereby it recognized and saved the prior right of the second creditors to recover their dues from the secured asset. Section 11E reads as under. Stop. Liability under Section Act to be first charge. Stop. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in any central act or state act, any amount of duty, penalty, interest, or any other sum payable by the assessees or any other person under this act or the rules made thereunder shall have as otherwise provided in Section 529A of the Companies Act 1956, the recovery of debts due to banks and the Financial Institutions Act 1993. Stop. The securitization and reconstruction of financial assets and the Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002 and the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Act 2016. The first charge of the property of the assessee or the person as the case may be. Full stop.